Salam alaikum, kif halek, kifukum shlonek, shalom, merhaba, konnichiwa, ni hao, namaste, privyet, bonjour, buongiorno, saludos, oladag, hajbrev, yak shemash. Je suis Ali, Ana Alex. I'm the CEO of Orca Oshi Capital Management. Shout out to my partner, Ronnie, BTS. And I'm an electronic dance music DJ. So BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa have approved Argentina to join, which is arguably comparable to NATO. Speaking of modern day Mao, I have seen the People's Bank of China, I don't know if I'm speaking that properly, I always get tongue twisted, are talking about smart contracts in relation to the digital yuan. As you all know, 1 in 5 Chinese people have downloaded the wallet in relation to the digital yuan, and it can be used from shopping, investing, purchasing, etc. And it's really and bill paying, which I found very, very efficient and funny because of course you got to pay them bills, right? But I did find it interesting because, as we all know, central bank digital currencies are not they're not blockchain technology. So to see the word smart contract, which is blockchain technology, even spoken in the hallways or the news articles of the People's Bank of China is extraordinary to know that there might be some sort of implementation sooner than later of blockchain technology. And America, hello, what are we doing? Crickets? All right, that's what I thought. I wanted to speak about transitory inflation, which obviously, as we know, is not transitory. And our Federal Reserve, I do project a 0.75 hike in July, because the magic money numbers have come in where the job market just seems to all of a sudden be thriving, even though we had 230,000 people file first-time unemployment claims. And then the week before that, we had 230,000 people file first-time unemployment. And they keep adjusting these stealth. So I have to go back and recheck that at one point in time, they weren't adjusting them as so. But now they are. So got to go back and check. And so we are purging Steve Jobs to no jobs. And I personally believe the layoffs are going to be coming soon. They're already there, whether it be Redfin. And we're seeing tech demolished, of course. Now, do we think Elon Musk's little tidbit, apparently he said something about Twitter, and I got tons of text messages about my thoughts, and I don't think about him. I think he's an extraordinary innovator, and he's an extraordinary, rather ruffle some feathers type person, but is he really pulling it back? And what is that going to make the market look like? How do we think tech stocks are going to perform? What do we think about blockchain technology as a whole crashing and crumbling with shitcoins? But to just even see the People's Central Bank of China, and if I'm saying that wrong, please correct me, talking about integrating smart contracts. There is a place for blockchain technology, and shout out to one of the institutions, one of the Fed institutions people, for being so gracious and so humble with their time to send me an article. And by the way, when in Miami, do as Miamians. Granted, Miami is second home for me, so Mazel Tov, L'chaim, Nostrovia. I know many of you, for some reason, have missed watching me drink. So, to see Starwood Group bringing tech and tech innovation, just a refresher, Starwood Group has the extraordinary W, and if you've ever stayed in the Manhattan W, it's obviously changed, but I mean, years ago, they had one of the best sushi places, in my personal humble opinion. But Miami W, shout out to the W living room, you're extraordinary. And to anybody in Starwood bringing Fintech and thinking that financial tech in Miami, which I personally believe is the future, the ability to decentralize currency, peer-to-peer transactions verified, and the lack of centralized banking needed for transactions from real estate to whatnot is going to be extraordinarily exciting. Now, the Federal Reserve has quantitative tightening. We have QE and QT. It's like QE and then QD. So just think we're in the QD phase, okay? So we're in the QD phase, and 74 billion have already been wiped off the balance sheet since the beginning. And there are certain terms that go with the QD phase, which is the quantitative tightening phase, such as pass-through principal payments, which deal specifically with mortgage-backed securities, which they're about 30 billion off. And I'm not sure if that's including with the 74. I want to say so, but fact check the F out of me. You know I am not and have never professed to be perfect. I want to just make sure that I'm giving facts, data, and information, especially on a night where Bloomberg is playing R&B, classic rock and soul, and none of us can just get that financial binge that we need. And so, back to what I was saying. Because I'm not taking my ADHD medication, we are going to go from blockchain technology to a central bank digital currency. And central bank digital currencies are going to be, in my personal humble opinion, the future. You look at the IMF. We have 5 currencies identifying as one: the yuan, the yen, the pound, the euro, the dollar. Now, I'm not sure if it's true that as Americans we're selling oil to India and China. Word on the streets, if you will. I've seen some articles. I would hate to believe those articles are true. But nonetheless, if we could just turn those spigots on and get those gas prices down, because mortgage rates have dropped a little bit. I saw about 5.84. But I've come up with this acronym, if you will, of what I believe it's going to take to see a full-blown housing crash. We're already in a recession, right? In my personal opinion, based on technicality. We've had 2 negative GDP quarters, so to me that equals a recession. To many television people, even though I don't watch TV, I'll get a ear bite while I'm researching and see what they have to say, and it's quite the opposite. They believe in things such as buy the dip, which now is such a term so overused. Please don't say it. Please just don't do it. It's like, it's almost as bad as saying the Fed prints the money, which it doesn't. By the way, our treasury is down about 20 billion as well. So we have what's called TIPS, which the Federal Reserve uses, which is Treasury Inflation Protective Securities. And those Treasury Inflated Protective Securities are super interesting, and I can do a whole video if you want me to on those. I just want to make sure that I am crossing my T's and dotting my I's, because there's no way in hell I'm going to go do a deep dive with something that is a little bit new to me, if you will, and probably new to most of you, being that QE is something that was not really implemented until I was underage partying. And so with that also said, we're looking at the average home price still around 400, but we need, in my personal opinion, to see a full housing crisis sex, if you will, which is substantial price lowering, meaning you're going to have a lot of people who, the shadow sector of real estate is insanity. So you have a lot of people, by the way, who didn't sell their homes and took out another loan, and so we're going to need to see substantial price reduction all over. And then we're going to need to see exceptionally high rates, which I would say we're already there. Who's going to qualify for these rates? We're going to have subprime lending again, as we already have. The need for the adjustable rate mortgage is just beyond me. I cannot fathom knowing that rates are going to go up. And then aside from that exception, we need an exceptionally bad economy where, again, you have subprime lending where you have a $400,000 house. People are putting $12,000 at max. I'm not sure what. I'm just looking at the averages. And again, I go $12,000 on a $400,000 home. The foreclosure process, I'm not sure, so I'm going to just take a guess. So you guys, please, in the C section below, we can read some more comments from girls, because have I gotten them. They're coming for me. They don't like the men liking me, which is just really weird. You'd think women would be supporting women. At least that's what the posters say. But nonetheless, we need to see just an exceptional and an exceptional mantra for a really big housing crash. And if so, once those rates are exceptionally high, and once the inventory is exceptionally high, substantially high, and exceptionally high rates, exceptionally high inventory, we're going to see a kaboom. There's just no way possible, especially, and then seeing foreclosures up about 150. I see anywhere between 130 and 150. So I do want to bring this as I close. As an American, I have been extraordinarily hard on Jerome Powell. And I plan to be in rhetoric and in good spirited rhetoric where I would debate him in a heartbeat. I want to debate transitory inflation. I want to debate why he believed QE was a good idea to begin with. Not every Fed was on board with that. Boston was not. And that was at the Jackson Hole meeting back in, I want to say 2018. Don't quote me. I want to always make sure whatever I'm saying is productive. Because the last thing that I would ever want to do is incite violence. Not that I look like a violent person, but I think we need to be very careful with how we look and we edify, and we can either edify or criticize, but we can do it in a debatable, democratic fashion, because the last thing that I want to see is a world war break out. And konnichiwa, again, I don't know if I said this before, but to the people in Japan, I just cannot say enough how terrifying it is to see. Because to know that's what sparked a war before, who's to say it couldn't again? And to see what China's doing in relation to with Russia and synergy with Russia. And also, one more fun fact, Canada. How is Canada and China? How are they going to make money? Well, Canada imports a lot of food to China, and because of the yuan and the digital yuan, many Canadian farmers are going to take the digital yuan. So many Chinese people are going to be able to pay with the digital yuan. So ironically, dear America, Canada is going to be cactus effing us when it comes to exporting because, well, based on what I'm reading, they are. Let me go through my notations and see if there's anything that I missed, because as you all know, I am a stickler for making sure I get it correct. And oh, we do want to talk about truck drivers. Truck drivers, I love you. That's what I have to say. Being that 70,000 are in limbo in California. And let's go with, let's see. All right. So I think that I take notations for all of you guys so I can, auto delinquencies. I don't even understand auto delinquencies. I don't. I've always been told and taught that buy a car outright and take care of it. By take care of it, I mean have men that are manly men know what they're doing. So like if my little oil thing comes on and I'm driving German, hypothetically they're going, Alex, you need to change your oil. But that's totally okay. Yeah, apparently repo business is roaring, and all right, I got it. I got it all. One more shot for the road. And again, to anybody that is working, I'm just mind blown. I see you all. Oh my gosh, Bridgewater, Ray Dalio. I would love to debate you on Chinese capitalism. I saw an interview you did on Bloomberg. Go back and watch it. That was not a good saying, because that doesn't exist. That's called communism. But on the second hand, 0.72, Steve Cohen's fund. Oh my God, like, oh mon Dieu. And then to see B&B Paris, I'm like hitting myself. Like, I'm like, un autre bénéfice de santé pris pour moi, and je suis très heureux parce que je ne sais pas, avec mon cœur, et merci pour le support dans France. Les financiers dans France, c'est très bien pour moi, avec moi, and yes, just, oh my gosh. And then to see Oak Tree Capital, and then the institutions, Barclays, Wells, Citi, JP Morgan Private Bank. Oh mon Dieu, je suis merci. Just extraordinary. Banque de Paris. I'm so honored. And that's, Barclays, of course, shout out to the OnlyFans. Barclays, I always wonder, Carnegie, Bank New York Mellon, the Carlyle Group, anybody that has looked or seen Goldman Sachs, of course. So any institution to harvest wealth management, that'd be Walmart, that I'm looking at my stats and I'm going, oh my gosh, oh mon Dieu, je ne sais pas. I've never thought that a finance video would ever get so much attention, and I am just so mind blown, because to see, again, if I were the president, I would have all of you all come into the White House and come up with a plan, because damn, we're going to need one, and it's going to need to be damn better than Roosevelt's. And I do think that technology has a place. And to see the Federal Reserve, oh my God, like, are you serious, you guys? Thank you so much for any opportunity. Thank you for sharing, liking, sending these extraordinary messages to myself, encouraging me instead of calling me. I don't even want to go through this. The names are not appropriate for the internet. And so to all the men, thank you so much. And it's an honor to see some of the top funds in the world and the top banks in the world binging my content, the monetary system, SoftBank as well. And my thoughts and prayers are with Masa and his son, because I don't know what type of effect, or if at all, the banking system would have with that. And so I love you all. Bisous, bisous, bachi. And habak, je t'aime, te amo. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing everything that I do and supporting me as an emerging manager. God bless.